Hey, hi all. In this today's session, we'll talk about what is AngularJS Forms. So the name itself saying that a forms, that means if you wanted to fill or develop, enriches filling of data and some validations inside of a form, we're going to use AngularJS Forms. We can use ng click event to handle the click events, and also we'll use different directives like $dirty, $invalid flags to do the validations. And you can use other directives to design the web pages. But when it comes to forms, there are so many Angular directives like ng click, double click, mouse down, mouse up, key up, change, like that. But to validate, right? So to perform some validations, we'll use $dirty and $invalid flags. So use no validate, right? With a form declaration to disable any browser specific validations using these directives. So let's see like what are all directives we have in AngularJS to achieve this forms concept. So coming to the AngularJS forms enriches forms filling and validations. Okay, so we can use ng click. We can use ng click event to handle, right, the click button, and use $dirty and $invalid flags to do the validations, right, in a seamless way. So to do events, AngularJS provides multiple events. AngularJS provides multiple events associated with HTML controls. For example, ng click, directive associated with button. Some of the examples: ng click, ng double click, ng mouse down, and ng mouse up, ng mouse enter, ng mouse leave, ng mouse however, ng key down, ng key up, ng key press. So these are some of the events. I think we have ng change, mouse down, mouse up, mouse enter, mouse leave, mouse over, mouse down, key up, key press, change. Okay, so these are the directives to implement events to fill the form to make enrich look for user. Okay, so coming to this forms concept, so how we are going to use this events. Okay, so I think no need of explaining every event here, because the name itself is giving the exact purpose of that particular event here. So this right side is going to explain what actually it is going to do. So ng click, when it comes to ng click, right, you can simply write this stuff for any buttons. Like if you want to do ng click, explain about ng click, I'll say I have a called uh, first name, the text box. This is text box, and I define this model as first name. This is required. That means it is going to display as a mandatory control. Similarly, last name. Okay, and name I'm going to specify it as last name, and this model name I'm going to specify it as last name. This is also required. Also, I'm going to say email. I need this email, and the model name is email, and this also required field. So now I'm going to say button here, a button ng click, right? I'll say invoke a reset function. Okay. So instead of reset function, right? All right. So however, I'm going to write student controller. I'm just passing, the scope as a parameter. And inside of this, I'm going to call scope dot reset equal to function. Inside this, I'm going to define the reset function definition. Simply scope dot first name equal to empty or some value scope dot first name equal to Ramana dollar scope dot last name equal to Gopali scope dot email, right, equal to Ramana3387 gmail dot. Got it. So this is a function inside of it, and once after this I'm going to say that reset. So where it is here, I need to call. Okay, so this way I'm going to write a function for this reset function. Okay, so if you look at here, we can validate the data, right, using dirty and the invalid flags I said, validating of data. So as I said, dirty, this is basically states that value has been, right, changed or not. When it comes to invalid, right, this states that value entered is invalid. There is another for error. It states that the exact error. Okay, let's see like how we're going to use this particular events with an example and understand how they are going to work. So firstly, I'll create, I'm going to my restart Visual Studio Coder. And here I'm going to create an application for forms here. Okay, let me do this in G9.html. So obviously I need this stuff. I'm just copying this into this old stuff. And here I'm going to define AngularJS forms demo. And inside of this, I'm going to define div. Inside of div, I'm going to define all the required things. Okay. So ng app, ng controller, and after this, I'm going to define form here. Form name is some form name, student form name. No validate. This is the no attribute I'm going to use it. This is the table I'm going to create here. Instead of this, I'm going to create a row, td, enter first name, and second row, I'm going to display type equal to, right, first name and type equal to text and ng model equal to first name. I'm just closing here. Similarly, I'm going to enter last name. This is last name. This is last name. So this is in one row. So I'm basically having one row first name and the row in here. Similarly for email, let us say that email. So in the email, I'm saying email, ng model email, and I'm going to give length. Of course, I can give length here. And as I said, this is required. You can use required field here. These fields. So once after this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to display some validations. So for first TD, right, you add span. So some style saying that color red. Okay. ng show. Let me add this model name here, that is student form dot first name, right? I'm just checking, is it dirty, right? If it is dirty and student form dot first name is invalid, okay, then I'm going to display this particular message inside of span, that is ng.show. The model name was dot first name dot dollar error, that means it's giving actual error required, and here first name is required. Let me remove this, let me close this. So these are the two spans I'm going to give it for each control. Similarly for this control, this is last name. Think it is small case, you need to use it. Last name. And this also small case here because the model we have mentioned small. Okay, and last name is required. And this is also last name. And same thing can be added here. This time this is email. And this is email. And this is email. Email is required. Email is required. And I'm going to add one more span here. In the show and email error email invalid email address invalid email address. Okay, great. Let me check this. Okay, once after this, I'm going to define one more tr to add reset button. In the td button ng click reset. This is reset. And adding one more 3D. And instead of this, I'm going to say button ng disabled equal to student form dot first name dot t and okay student form dot first name dot invalid and sorry or I'm going to copy student last name and invalid okay, and I'm going to add click event here for this button and click equal to submit some function. I'm adding it. This is submit. Okay, so with that I've done it, and coming here I'm going to add a script for this script. My app equal to angular dot model my app dot controller student controller function and score dot reset equal to function. Instead of this, I'm going to scope first name equal to scope last name equal to email equal to beer knowledge center 87 at the rate gmail.com. Run this live server. First name is required, last name is required. All are showing. Okay, where is that? First name, last name, submit. So we need to add submit event. Yes, add that. First, we'll see why it is not displaying. So add a style. Table th and td, and here border pixel solid gray border collapse padding by pixel table tr and check all of and background color equal to red. And then here ng app is my app and ng controller is server controller. This one is first name and this is last name, and this is email, first name, last name, this is last name. Okay. Let me run this now. Enter first name. Okay, this is something, and the last name. Reset also not working. Reset function, and the click is not very. Angular module, my app, controller, student, controller. Plus 3. Enter first name. What is first? I'm just checking this. Ng show student form as first name that t first name text ng model first name and then color red and ng show student form dot first name dollar dirty and student form first name dollar invalid, and here ng show student form dot first name error required, first name is required. Student form, what is that? Is a form name. No valid date. No valid date, that's fine. SSTR and enter last name and last name. Text and the model is last name. And style color red and the show student form first name dirty and student first name invalid. And the show student first name last name as required. There is a std. I think I have to show this after this. Inside of this. Similarly, this is here. Let me run this. When I click reset, it should fire that event, right? TD email, last name, and the last name, last name. Span is once, two spans are closed. Dollar invalid, first name dot dollar invalid. Okay, and this is the reference I mentioned. Color is required. Student controller, my app, student controller, my app that controller function. Let me try this debugger and see what is happening. Function reset. When I'm clicking on NG click, reset has to file. I don't know. Reset and button NG click reset and then TD close and then disable student form first name that T and student form first name invalid or student form that T and invalid or email address we have to copy capture. This is email that T email invalid. NG click is submit, it's fine. TD closed, TR closed, table, form, div, main app, Angular dot main app, my app dot controller, student controller function scope we missed. We missed scope, let me say this. Okay, reset is working. I click on this. This is not working. Okay, where is that condition? Let me check this again. Last name. When it comes to last name, enter last name. TD. This is closed. Enter last name. Input name, last name. Type. No, not type. This is name. I think I missed something. This is name. Right. Let me try now. Still not working. The input name equal to first name, type equal to text, ng model last name, ng model last name. Okay, you are giving capital letter here for model, and here while you're checking, you are using still small case and email. No, this is correct. This is required. You asked, and say required, right? Invalid and the show TD input span style and the show student to form dot first name dollar error required. First name is required, span close, TD fine. Where is the problem then? So I'm not sure about this, how it could be happening. First name, this is last name, this is fine. This is cool. Reset is working fine, but this NZ show, this NZ show is not working. Why? Because I just mentioned name email, type email. This is type email. I'm sorry. And NZ model is email. Length is 100 and you said required. And the show student form dot email dirty and student email invalid. I'm not sure what is the problem with this. This has to work right. Let me go back to the video what we have it. Where is that file? Let me see that. Where is that D10? This thing. Let me copy this and see what we did mistake. Let me try this. So this is working for me. Gmail.com is working. How come it is working? I default these are showing. Default showing means first name, last name, email. These are correct. This is first name, this is last name. Okay, let me try this. Okay. So when I look at this previous code, so this is I'm going to say this is first name and this is last name. Okay, and here first I'll bind this first name, last name, browse. Oops, what's this? So how come this is last name and email, and this all stuff is working. So this is this is something I define, and I use this is for the binding, and from here onwards I'm referring name, last name, and email. This is fine. When I remove this, I'm getting validation, and even when I remove this it is coming. So this is something which is working based on these tags. Okay. Please try to use these click events as part of AngularJS, the forms, and make sure that all the names here you're mentioning model name. So this model name should be this name. And when you're using $13 invalid, you need to refer a form model. Okay. So now it's clear and it is displaying output. So look at here, the form name is student form, no validated is added. And using this, I'm going to refer the name of controller to validate dollar and $30. Okay. So I hope you understand this logic, how I have built to display the first name and last name by default from the scope, controller. And then when I'm clearing, so it is throwing and showing the warning message. Okay. As like this way. Got it? So this is all about the form. So I feel you guys have understood how to write the forms using these directives and how they are displaying using this validation flags. Okay. Thanks for listening to this video and please subscribe this channel for more videos. Thank you.